Greetings, people of Earth. Welcome back. My name is Jax, and today we are talking about how to date. There are really, I think, four different methodologies or four different mindsets that different people will have based on their personality and how they want to date and what they're looking for. So we're talking everything dating today, is what I'm trying to say. First of all, I think it is very important to get out some basic stuff that I think we should all know by now, but it is worth repeating for me, for everyone. First of all, communication is so important. I think it is incredibly vital that within the first, I'm going to say the first 3 dates of going out with somebody, you guys have some kind of communication about where you see this going, you know, if there's any expectations, are you going to be, having these conversations regularly, checkups, I used to call it like checking under the hood, making sure that the engine of a specific relationship is working to everybody's satisfaction. And that's a really dry way of saying, are you happy in this relationship and are you looking forward to where it's going? So communication, I think, is the most vital thing while dating. A while ago, I talked about sort of the different things that an individual can do to prepare themselves for dating and how exactly they can get out what they're looking for, how to improve your chances of obtaining a date and all of that stuff. Today, we're really talking about the macro version of dating, the big picture stuff. Because I think there really are 4 different mindsets that determine how you date and what you're looking for and how it's going to feel. And I think by understanding these 4 mindsets, you can meet somebody on a date and go, oh, they're this kind of person. Like they have this kind of focus and goal in mind, or, sometimes they don't have a goal in mind. And that's really important to know because what you don't want is get attached to somebody whose goal is different than yours, or really fall for somebody who is not going to work with your communication style, with the way you see your life unfolding. It'd be just as bad to fall for somebody who has their heart set on kids when you absolutely don't want kids. There are certain things that just aren't going to work for certain people. And I think by understanding these 4 different perspectives when it comes to dating and personality types, you can get a really clear picture of what you're looking for, what the other person is looking for, and hopefully end up happily ever after, if that's your goal. Some people don't have that goal, and that's absolutely fine as well. Okay, so the way I've divided this is there are 4 perspectives when it comes to dating. And I have assigned each of them an element just to help focus in my head so that when I meet somebody, I'm like, oh, they're this one. And then that gives me an idea of what to expect and how to deal with it. But like I said before, communication is always the most important part. You can make up little theories in your head all you want, but if you're not actually communicating with the people that you are seeing, it's not going to work out good for you. Like, I'm just going to say it now. Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about, I call this one focused dating. This is in my head, this is the element of fire, because these people tend to be very fixated on the goal. And the goal is to end up in a relationship, to be married, to have kids, whatever the goal is, that's what their goal is. And they are going to do this with extreme efficiency. These people tend to be type A, very driven, very focused, very motivated. They don't want to tiptoe around difficult subjects. If you are going to work for this person, they are going to know it on the first or second date. You will probably not get a third date with a fire type person, with a focused dating person, if you are not their type. These people make it very clear from day one, this is what they're looking for. They're not interested in all the garbage. They have their life where they want it. to a reasonable degree, and they're going to go for it. These people, it can be so satisfying going on a date with a focused dater because you really don't have to guess what they're thinking. They're gonna tell you. They're gonna let you know exactly what they're looking for, how it's going to work, and if it sounds good to you, then let's sign up and let's go. I think these people end up in long-term relationships pretty frequently. And if they're successful, they end up married pretty early on, you know, like they know what they want, they're looking for it, and they never have to give it a second thought. So there's a lot of benefits to it. I think when I was young and starting to date, this is exactly the mindset I had. I was very focused. I would get on a dating app, I would match with somebody, I would message somebody, and I would say, hey, do you want to go on a date this weekend? And if they wanted to, then great, and we'd see where it went. I ended up in my first long-term relationship like this, and it was really, really easy. It was very simple. It just involved some brutal honesty, and honestly, it worked. So focused dating, the fire sign. There you go. The next one, this one's called structured dating. It has a lot of similarities with focused dating, but structured dating is definitely the earth element. These people aren't as intense as the focused dater, but they want a structure. There's a lot of communication. There is a lot of trying to figure out if both of you are compatible with each other, if you're working towards the same goal. These tend to involve like a lot of late night conversations. It can take a little bit to get to feel comfortable with somebody who's a structured dater because they're playing it all kind of close to their chest. They're kind of focused on making sure you're the right fit before they open up to you. And so it can be kind of difficult because you can be going on a few dates with a structured dater and feel like you're not really getting anywhere. Like you're very much intrigued by who they are and how they carry themselves. And, you know, they're very cautious and careful people. So it's a very interesting thing, but once they open up, it can be like an amazing experience. You really connect with them. Like I said, communication is so vital in all of these, but in this one, communication seems to be like especially important, and they tend to move quickly as well. Just like the focus dater, you tend to end up in a relationship with this person quickly because they have the end goal in mind. You know, like I said, there isn't that intensity that has the focus daters have, but there's a structure. It's called structured dating for a reason. So yeah, and I think I definitely transitioned to this kind of approach after my first long-term relationship, and it was, I think it comes with having a heartbreak. Sorry, my brain. It comes with having a heartbreak because then you realize what heartbreak is, and so you're more cautious and you're a lot less gung-ho and, you know, ready to go, ready to date. And so you're trying to make sure that you're not going to get hurt again. And so usually I think the approach of structured dating happens after a really bad heartbreak, and that's, or like just a bad situation. Like you could have had some kind of traumatic experience or something that makes you really weary and cautious of opening up to somebody because you don't want that hurt again and you don't need that in your life. So that's structured dating. It's sort of methodical, but not laser focused. So the next one, I like to call this broad dating. This one gets so much hate from our society today. This is the water sign. This is the water element. So a broad dater doesn't necessarily have an absolute goal in mind. They're hoping to, you know, one day get into a relationship, maybe get married, maybe. And they're a lot more focused on just daily life, enjoying what they're doing, those kinds of things. And they often date multiple people. And so this is where you get into a big debate over whether it's appropriate to date multiple people at the same time. Can you do it as long as, you know, everybody is involved and has like knowledge of what's going on? And broad dating is sort of seen as like the normal thing in my generation, in sort of Gen Z, Gen Z. It's kind of viewed as like, oh, that's what everyone's doing. And I really don't think most people are broad dating. I don't think most people have the time or energy or the money to be dating multiple people. And when I say dating multiple people, I don't mean like they have secret boyfriends behind their other partner's back. I'm talking about in the early stages of dating. They are seeing multiple people and they're trying to find somebody who really vibes with them, who really connects with them on a deep level. And I don't honestly think it's a bad thing to be going on dates with multiple people. It certainly doesn't work for my lifestyle at the moment, and I'll admit I have done this in the past where you go on a few dates with this person and you go on some dates with this other person, and those dates might be happening, on a Monday you go on a date with A, and then on Thursday you see B, and then next Monday you go on a date with B, and then you have a date with A the next day or whatever. And you're just, you're going on coffee dates, you're going on different things like that. But broad dating gets a lot of hate because the other two forms of dating that I talked about hate it. They hate the idea that you are seeing other people, that you're not focused on one person at a time. They think that a broad dater is really wishy-washy. They don't know what they want. And there is some truth to that. But broad dating gets a lot of hate because we are a monogamous society, and the idea of getting to know multiple people at the same time is not exactly kosher in our world. So those are a few things that I'll say about that. But broad dating, the ultimate goal isn't necessarily marriage or something. It's having a good time. It is enjoying to get to know somebody. It's not always consumed by, deep intimacy. It can just be going on multiple dates with people and getting to know them and, seeing how you feel with the person. There's a lot more sense on feelings in this kind of dating than there is about, well, he looks good on paper and he's got a good job and I like his parents and blah, 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 blah. The structured and the focused dating, those two involve a lot of mental gymnastics about, well, he works here, it's about the facts, whereas broad dating is a little bit more about the feelings, about the emotions, and those kinds of, I guess, just feelings. So that's what I'll say about broad spectrum. Like I said, I definitely had a phase where I did this, and it was interesting. It wasn't awful. I didn't get into like a long-term relationship doing this. I don't think it's the main goal of someone who broad dates. I think the idea is that you sort of whittle down your choices until you find somebody who really clicks with you. And then, your relationship isn't broad anymore. You're kind of either structured or focused or something like that. So the final one, this is the one I find myself fitting into a lot more. I call this one detached dating. This is the air sign, the air element. Detached dating, these people really aren't dating. Like, to say that this person's focus is dating it's not happening. A detached dater is somebody who is very focused on their own life. They are, and I'm not saying they're self-centered. I'm saying a detached dater is somebody who dating is not the most important thing in their world. They have got other things going on. They are very invested in maybe their family or their friends or their work or, long-term goals. Maybe it's a fitness goal. Maybe it's whatever. But dating is just another activity. It is not a primary focus in their life. These people you will almost never find on social media, dating apps and that kind of thing, because they're just not interested in it. They don't see the point in putting themselves out there, because if they're going to meet somebody, it's going to be a little more natural, and they might go on it just to meet people and to start those introductions or whatever, but they don't take it like a career, or they don't take it super seriously. Like a focused dater, like a fire element dating person, will have a very manicured dating profile with absolutely everything they're looking for and exactly what they want. A detached dater might have their picture and their name. That might be it. That's the difference. So the air element, it's not the primary focus. They are very much into, if the vibe is right, let's keep going. So if we keep having good experiences, we'll keep having dates. But there isn't this idea of, we need to have this structured communication of where we see this date going. And, by the fourth date, we need to be exclusive. No. A detached dater, not interested. They would probably run for the hills if you tried to define the relationship too early or move quickly in their minds, because they want to have fun. They want to explore. They want to live and try and find somebody who's like-minded. I think detached daters often end up with other detached daters because they're the only ones that get it. They're the only ones that understand it. And like I said, I have found myself in this context more and more. When I first started dating, if I had gone out with somebody who was a detached dater, I would have run the other way so fast, because the idea of detached dating really doesn't vibe with the other three kinds of dating at all. Maybe a little bit with broad dating, but it's so much more about the vibe and how you feel. And it, like, I don't know. It's air. It is what it is. Yeah. And I think it's refreshing to go on a date with somebody like that, because they don't feel like there has to be a timetable. They don't feel like there has to be like a structured motivation of energy pushing two people together. If it happens, it happens. If the vibe is right and you feel good and you enjoy your time and you go on crazy adventures, that's what it is. And I know I'm sort of hyping up detached dating a lot, but it's just because that's the place I find myself in now, today, in this world. I think it's a good approach. Again, it gets a lot of hate from other people because you need to have structure, you need to be focused, you need to be trying to find your person, and you need to communicate exactly what you're looking for. And that can be great if that's your personality type and that's what you're looking for. But for my life and schedule and the way it's working right now, it's just, I'm just not interested. I'm sorry. Like, life is busy. I love my friends and my family. I devote a lot of time to those things in my life that I care about. The gym is a huge important thing to me. And I know that sounds silly when it comes to dating, but it really is. And if I can't find somebody who, at the very least, lets me go to the gym at 5 a.m. every single morning, no matter what, it's going to be a problem. Like, I need that. I need my life to not fundamentally change or be altered just because I'm in a relationship. And I know that sounds kind of strange in 2024, but that's where I am. So I hope if you're watching this that you've taken something from this, even if it's just like the 4 elements and how they interact, and how those kinds of different dating styles shape how you feel. But I think when you are able to categorize people into different elements, it does get easier. There's a reason that humans love like the zodiac calendar signs, and we love saying, oh, I'm a fire sign, I'm an earth sign. Humans love categorizing people, and we love to do it. You have the Chinese zodiac, you have the zodiac that we get from the constellations. You have all of these different categorizations, and humans really love that. We love to put people in boxes and to know exactly, oh, well, Jack's a year of the rat, so I guess, he does this and this and this, and he's a Virgo, so he does this, this, and this. We like this. And so if this perspective helps you get to understand somebody better when you go on a date with them, awesome. If it was just a fun ride, I hope you enjoyed listening to the crazy rants of a, little gay boy from Canada. So anyway, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments. You can message me on Patreon or any of the other places that I'm at. And let me know your opinions and your thoughts on dating. Should there be a set end goal, or should it just be a go with the flow vibe kind of thing? Is it okay to go on multiple dates with other people? How much communication is too much? How much is not enough? I don't know. I don't know. We are all making this up as we go. And one thing that I would say as a little detached dater who is just kind of vibing with it is, don't let dating become this all-encompassing thing in your life. Enjoy going and meeting different people. It is one of the greatest joys on the planet, and it doesn't need to be muddied and made to feel like a high-pressure business deal. You know, it's supposed to be fun. If you go on a date with somebody and you get home and you lie in bed and you close your eyes and you think about how much fun you had, that's a good date. You know, try and find those. Try and do more of those. If the person who gave you that feeling also wants to go on more dates, then do that. I think there's an infinite amount of ways that you can overthink it, just like I have in the last 21 minutes. So yeah, that's what I'm going to say. The 4 elements, the different kinds of dating, go ahead, go mad. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. And as always, I will talk to you tomorrow.